you seeing what I'm seeing? A bit low, isn't it? I think I'm taller than it for the first time ever. Can you guys see it's really lopsided? Just come out of the car and it's tilted a lot in one way, which might be something to do with that suspension fault we spoke about in another video. So as I was saying, we came out this morning and we both thought, our Range Rover seems to be sat a little bit low on the ground and it's a bit wonky. You can see here there's usually a huge gap, and I'm struggling to even fit my hand in this gap here. There's like that much room in between the tyre and the wheel arch, and it seems to be sat really, really low. Should we see if it's on the rest of the tyres as well? Yeah, same at the front. Super low, and even like closer to the front because it's dropped down so low here. This car needs a wash. That's what I'm taking from this. It's very dirty. It's really low. A few weeks ago we had a suspension fault come up on the car and we got the battery changed and it went away, and we figured it was just an electrical problem and the battery, it being years and years old, that it fixed the fault, but this doesn't look quite right. Let's go and look at the other two. We parked a bit close to a wall here, so I'll see if I can get round and show you. They're a bit higher. They're still quite low, but they're definitely a bit higher. Would you say that's...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this looks like normal access mode.
Yeah.
And then the other side.
It often does. And I know that there's a function on the car that if it's like parked on a ledge, it will go to one side or the other. But looking at this straight on, it's just fully on the wonk. That does not look right at all. So I'm intrigued. I want to start the car. Can you stay here and film and we'll see if it goes up? Because it might just go up and it's fine. But this could be a can of worms that's just opened up in front of our faces. Just jumping in here really quickly to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Car Vertical. It's the company we used to do all the checks on our Range Rover before we bought it, and we are so glad we did. It basically told us that the car hasn't been in any accidents, any mileage fraud, things like that. So these are the checks that we could see. It gives you amazing reassurance before purchasing a used car. So as you can see here, we got a very good report, a very clean report. There's no damage, there's no outstanding finance. It hasn't been in any accidents. And then on the other hand, this is a sort of report that you really don't want to see, but I mean, you do want to see it because you wouldn't want to buy that car, if that makes sense. I can also scroll down and see the MOT history, whether it passed or failed. These are the sort of things that you really want to know about when buying a used car. So if any of you guys are interested in doing any checks for yourself, then make sure you head down to the description below, click the link, and you can use code Lucy for 10% off. I wouldn't buy a used car without doing this check, put it that way. That's how important I think it is. Let's see. Okay, what do we think? Fault code or non-fault code? I'm pretty sure it's a 50-50 chance at this point. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. I think we're good. Set back there and I'll try starting it. Lifting?
Lifting.
Are we good?
See that? Now looks like, yeah, the front's going up.
Yeah, I can feel it.
That kind of, oh, it's going up again.
Too much?
So that now looks like normal access mode. What are you in? Is it in access mode? Yeah, it's in access mode.
It's in access mode, but did we leave it in access mode? No.
So, yeah, I parked in access mode.
You parked in access mode?
Yeah.
Right, so there's no fault. So why did it just drop? We haven't driven this car for what, 2 days? And it's slowly sunken into the ground. You came back to the car and it had dropped lower than access mode on one side. Is that a normal thing? Has that happened to any of your guys' cars? Okay, for now I don't think it needs anything doing. I feel like every time you get in this car, you're like, fingers crossed, is there gonna be another fault? Is there gonna be something wrong with it? Do I need to book it in for something today, or are we good again for another week? It could be our lucky day. Okay, I'm gonna try going up to normal height. Let's see. Normal height selected. Okay, and I'll go up again, click off-road height. Feel something?
A little bit creaky on the back.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I felt that really shake then, it kind of jutted.
It's still moving and still creaking.
It's really creaking. It's like it's...
Okay, it's there though.
It's like it's struggled up a bit.
Yeah.
I've not heard their noises before. Normally it's a bit smoother than that. It still says vehicle raising in progress, and that feels a lot slower than normal. But in my eyes, no fault code, no problem. Is that how it works? It's actually quite ironic because today I wanted to film a video talking about the faults and problems we've had with this car, and specifically with L322s, or the common faults that you can get. And just like magic, the car knew I wanted to film that video today, and it gave me something to talk about. And something actually that I haven't mentioned on this channel yet, we were driving back from Wales the other day. I hope you enjoyed the Wales vlog. Thanks for all the support on it. There was a code that came up saying, what was the exact wording? Can you remember? It was front. It was basically to do with the distance control when you can go into cruise control, and the sensors measure the distance between you and the car in front to keep whatever distance you choose. So the exact wording was forward alert not available. We got out of the services, we actually cleaned where we thought they were because they're a bit mucky, and then the code went away. So I don't know if that is a fix. Maybe it was just like a bug had gotten in the way, or just some mud. We were doing a little bit of off-roading. Someone did say, commenting, that a Fiesta could have done the off-roading we did. Fair comment. Obviously these cars do get an incredibly bad reputation. I feel like the Range Rovers are known for going wrong, and I don't know if that's a fair point. I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that go wrong with them, but I think there's also a lot of positives, and I'd love to hear in the comments. I want to hear the success stories. I want to hear the times they've been amazing for you, instead of just, oh yeah, they're really unreliable, oh yeah, that's going to cost you a ton of money, oh yeah, it was expensive brand new but now it's cheap but the repairs are still really expensive. They're just the ongoing things that I hear, and maybe it's not until you own one yourself that you can fully understand why people don't listen to those problems when they have it. Maybe it's this like tunnel vision thing where you're just so obsessed with it that you don't care if it's got problems. But of course it is something to bear in mind, and there are several common faults. So I'm going to talk through them in a second. We're going to head over to Brighton. We've got to get a few bits from Brighton today. I think we're actually getting some new iPhones, which would be fun. Completely off topic, but good to know. It's a beautiful day. It's 23 degrees out. The sun is shining so much that it's actually giving me a slight headache because it's reflecting off the gear stick. But I'm not complaining. So let's head over now. I'm in park still and it's moving.
You just took the handbrake off, I think.
No, I didn't. It's on.
It's because you put it into reverse so the car can't.
No, but even going back to it,
it's moving.
I'm not touching it. It's in park with the handbrake on.
The suspension is moving. It's got a mind of its own.
I literally just put it into reverse. I'm annoyed I wasn't filming. I just put it into reverse with my foot on the brake, went into reverse, and it made the biggest jolt. The car shook. What is going on? That was
a big clunk. We haven't driven it for 3 days.
Yeah, but
maybe it's just
only a couple of days.
A little bit seized.
It's not like it's been in a garage for 20 years. God. Okay, should we try again? Maybe you stay there just in case it happens again. Okay.
It's just creaky down here.
Creaky. It's back right, isn't it?
I did read though, it's the air suspension constantly self-levels, so.
That was not self-leveling. That was some very aggressive self-leveling. How close did you park this pool? So high up. Still in them off-road height. It's ridiculous. I said to George the other day, I think we've made a mistake because I'm used to the size of this already. And George was like, yeah, but this is pretty much as big as it gets. And I was like, what are we gonna do then? I think we've peaked too early. I'm 25 years old and I've already got the biggest car I can get. Is there a car that's bigger than this? I mean, I'm not trying to buy a lorry or a bus here. Never say never. Okay, it's lowering now. Oh, I wish you could always drive it. I wish I could always drive it in off-road height. I love being high up on the road, but then the only problem is, if we did get it lifted and get some chunkier tyres on it, we are getting new tyres soon, by the way, watch this space. The only problem with that is when a car park says 2 meters, if we were already lifted, we'd have to then go into access to get in and sort of hope that it doesn't lift back up. So I think it's going to restrict us quite a lot. And in my last video I said, are there any situations when it doesn't work to own a Range Rover? And the 2 main comments I got were, it doesn't work if you, can I go around? Yeah, let's go around. It doesn't work if you need to get into a multi-story car park, and it also doesn't really work around a racetrack. I said I disagree with the second point, you never know. Would be a lot of fun. So that would be the only thing that maybe puts you off lifting it, because it would mean there's even less places you can go in it. but it would be so much more cool. It would be so nice to be this high up on the road all the time. Anyway, we're back down into normal now. It's driving well, it's not clunking, it's not making any more noises, so maybe that's it. And to be fair, I do think we've been pretty lucky with this car so far, touch wood. It's now all gonna go wrong because I've said that, but yes, we've had a few faults come up, we've changed the battery, we've had a few electrical things. Mirror wasn't folding in properly when we first got it, the battery fixed that. There's been some rust issues. We've used some Hammerite on that on George's channel. Check out more George if you're interested to see that. I'm still not sure on the job he did, but that's an argument for another day. So the current mileage is 170,421. So that's really high, and I called it stupidly high in a few of these videos. It is stupidly high, really. I used to work at BMW, and we'd never really have a car in the forecourt that had more than like 60,000 miles, 80,000 tops, and it'd be like, well, that's got high mileage. It's very high, but I don't think it matters. It's almost like there's a different scale of mileage on these cars. It's not in the same category as any other car that I've ever had or driven. It's like, it's got its own sort of rules. There's also this nice sweet spot. I mean, we can't say for sure. However, at a certain point with these cars, I think a lot of things have been done. There's a lot of maintenance that's happened. Slightly lacking in history on this car, as you know. The turbos will probably need replacing at about 120,000. This has got 170. We don't, the guy who bought it from said he thinks they've been done. So we're not 100%, but I'm pretty sure they would have been. So there's this sweet spot where if you get it over a certain amount of mileage, you're paying less money because it's such high mileage. A lot of the work has been done. So not only are you saving money in the cost of the car, but you're saving money in these big jobs that need doing at certain mileages before you've bought it. I've got a question for you guys in the comments. Who watching these videos has got the highest mileage car? Comment below your mileage. No lying. I've got no way of checking, so you can lie if you want to lie. Put down your mileage and let's see who's got the highest mileage. I don't know what we're gonna have. Are we gonna have some that have got like 200,000 miles? Has anyone got a car with 300,000, or is that not really a thing? I don't know. I'd love to know. Comment below the highest mileage car you own, or maybe that you used to own. That's part of it. You can save the ones that you used to own if you want to. I was just about to set a shot up here, grab me some coffee from Small Batch on the way, and I don't think I can do it. The noise from the road is very loud. Maybe I'll just go over here. There we go, that's slightly better. Hopefully there's not too much noise. So the question we need to ask ourselves is an L322, is a Range Rover, is buying this car more hassle than it's worth? Wow, this is very noisy. For me, the answer is obviously going to be yes, 100%. For other people, it might not be the right car for you if you haven't got the time to take it into the garage or work on some things yourself. It's obviously quite pricey, the repairs on it, because it's an £80,000 car brand new, and although it's now cheaper to buy, it doesn't mean that the repairs are cheaper. So that is something to consider. I do really think it's worth the hassle. I wouldn't even call it hassle, I'd say it's all part of the fun. As George said in his channel, range anxiety doesn't just apply to electric cars. It's definitely a real thing. But when you get in the car, it almost doesn't matter. It's not like you're getting into a brand new car and you're surprised that things are going wrong with it. It's just like part of it. It's just part of the fun. I mean, I don't think we've had enough bills yet for me to actually be that annoyed by it. I might watch this back and say just part of the fun when I've got like a £4 bill to get the gearbox replaced. I don't even know how much gearbox replacements are, maybe I'm way off there. When you weigh it up like that, you have to weigh up the pros and cons. If it was, oh, you don't own the car but you've also got no hassle, I'd be like, yeah, but I want the car, so I'll take the hassle with it. I think it's all part of it. So that's my answer. Again, as always, I'd love to hear in the comments from you guys, do you think it's worth a hassle? Do you think it is a hassle? So make sure you comment below what your thoughts are on it, because everyone's different, and I can see why some people get frustrated by them. I can see why some people wouldn't touch them and wouldn't be interested in owning one. But for me, I'm happy to. This isn't going to be my only Range Rover in my lifetime. I've already been thinking about what's next. But anyway, we're just getting some coffees now. We've got about 10 more minutes until we get into Brighton. So let's hop back in the car. Okay, I think I'm going to end this video off here. So thanks again for coming along with me for another day in my Range Rover. I was thinking of doing a video like a day in the life of owning a Range Rover, and like the things that you have to look out for and what I get up to in a day. So if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. And also, if you've got any other ideas, I'm thinking of getting started on some maybe modifications. There's a few little DIY fixes that I want to film soon, and definitely some proper off-roading, not the Fiesta stuff you saw in Wales. Don't worry, that's just the start. So if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe down below, and thanks again to Car Vertical for sponsoring today's video. There's going to be a link if you guys are interested in the description, and you can use code Lucy for 10% off. As soon as this video goes live, I'm going to be sat on the laptop replying to every comment, so make sure you leave a comment. I will definitely be reading them, and as always, I really appreciate any feedback you guys have got with the car, because you are my go-to people when I've got questions and things I need to know about, because I feel like you're slightly more expert than I am. So anyway, thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Goodbye.